Hey guys, how y'all doing? I got another video for you today. It's going to be a installation of this Corsairs H100i closed loop water cooling unit. I'm going to be installing it into my Corsair 350D case. I've already have another video of me installing a the same unit in my in my half X Cooler Master case, and that one was I just had the camera running pretty much, and I didn't really do a good job. Can't guarantee I'm going to do a good job this time around, but hopefully be a little bit better than last time. And there's more lighting, so hopefully things will be a little bit more clear. I know there's already hundreds of installation videos of this unit already out there on YouTube, but if you're like me, I like seeing the actual unit going into the case that I'm gonna get. And if you're considering this case, you definitely want to see if you're going to be running into any types of issues. And well, yeah, that's why I'm making this video. I already had this unit in this case. I just needed to. I just wanted to reapply the thermal paste, and so that's why I took it all apart and decided just to make a video. Just for the sake of saving time, I have already installed certain things in the computer and on the water the radiator itself. So I'll get more into that here in a bit. But yeah, let's install this baby. So here I got most of the tools that I'm going to need to install this unit. The reason I say most of them is because like I said before, I've already went ahead and installed certain things just to make this video a little shorter. And the reason I went ahead and did that is because it's different. It's going to be different for either Intel or AMD. But yeah, this is most of the stuff. You'll notice a couple things missing, which I'll go over at the end why I chose to just not use it. But for right now, that's mainly most of the stuff I'm going to use for the Intel type motherboard. And just to kind of go over what you got to do, it's pretty much the same for Intel and AMD. Like I said, you'll probably just need to look at the manual depending what's the type of CPU socket you got. And yeah, I mean pretty much you just got there's this back plate that goes behind your motherboard, and 4 screws are going to go on the other side. There's really not much to it, so I mean I did it just to save time. It's not really hard at all. So you just put this back plate on there, and on the other side you're gonna go ahead and screw in whatever screws it tells you to screw in, and that should hold it in place, and you'll pretty much be ready to put the water block on there. So since this is a smaller case, I decided to go ahead and mount the fans already onto the radiator, because in this case you'll find it really hard to screw in these back screws with the motherboard already inside. So yeah, I just went ahead and installed the radiator. Installed the fans onto the radiator, and you're just gonna use these long screws, and put them on all 4 corners, a total of 8, and just screw them down. Nothing hard about that. Just make sure not to, depending how flexible your fans are, like these, if you keep tying it, it'll just keep going down. Just make sure not to tighten it down too much, just enough so they're not rattling on full speed or any speed. So yeah, I mean just enough to where it's holding it there and it's not going to rattle. Because again, you don't want to screw it all the way down to where it's going to pierce the radiator fins. So yeah, I mean just keep that in mind. Alright guys, so I know I didn't mention it before, but it is a good idea, if this isn't a new build, just to take out your RAM and your video card, just so you can have a little bit more space, especially in a small case like this one. But besides that, okay, we're ready. I have everything in here just loosely in there. I don't have anything screwed in or anything yet. I pretty much just set the radiator over here just so I won't have to be holding it while I'm putting this water block in. But yeah, I mean we're pretty much ready to start putting it in there. You just want to put that magnetic clamp on top of it and it'll just clamp right on. Real easy. So you'd want to get this thing in place. Make sure none of the wires are getting caught underneath it. Okay, so that's secured and in place. Now we got the radiator to worry about. So like I said, the reason I put it loosely in there is because I still want to, for wire management purposes, I want to pull it back out and tuck those wires in the back. Okay, so now that we have the water block secured into the motherboard and inside the case, what I like doing next is the wire management. That's really important for me with this build because it is a small form factor, and I really wanted to make it look clean and, you know, as minimal as little as wires as possible, or that are visible. So, you know, like if you're gonna get the same motherboard, which is this is the Asus Griffin, you know, you could follow this video or just use it as some type of guide to you know, help you route your wires. But what I like doing is this power for your water block, I like just routing it up there into that grommet up there. It's not gonna stay in place right now. I should just stick it in here before, and there we go. And that same power cable is gonna have a little fan header connection, so that it won't send any errors whenever you turn on your CPU. But I'm going to be connecting the two fans into the CPU optional and the regular CPU fan header, so it's not going to send any errors regardless. But I'm just going to put that one there because I don't want to see anything empty or not in use or just a wire hanging there. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect that there. And I'm going to go ahead and I guess I should turn this around so you can see it. Like I said, wire management for me is kind of important. I want to keep it looking as clean as possible, and that's pretty much what I did. You know, you just connect it to the power into one of these cables, and you're good. For me, I just kind of just tuck that there because you won't be able to see it anyways on the other side once you got that radiator on top. I'll mess with that at the end whenever I'm close to finishing this. Now the next thing is to actually connect your fans. So the closest one, I'm going to do it to the CPU optional. Sorry, and I'm probably going to be blocking the way. But you get what I'm doing. And second fan to the CPU fan header. So I'm just going to get this as close as I can to that grommet up there. And just tuck them in a little. If I can get to it. There we go. So I don't know if you see what I did there, but I needed to stick the radiator into this DVD drive bay first, and that allowed me to get a little bit more length out of those cables, so I can start pulling them and putting them on the other side of the case. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to put the camera up top so you can see it. So now all you got to do is with the radiator down here, you just want to make sure that you align these holes, and all you're going to be using is the little screw provided and a little washer. And what I want to do is just, well, what I do, I just put them on opposite ends of the radiator. Screw them in, not real tight, just screw them in until it's holding. Yeah, until it's holding and it's not wiggling. And then you could do the same with the rest. Give all of them just a quick check, make sure there's no loose ones in there. And just, you know, wiggle it at the bottom, or it's not supposed to wiggle, but just, you know, check it, make sure it's not wiggling, and if it's not, then you're good. It's all mounted on there, right? Just make sure everything's connected, and everything seems to be connected right. These wires the fan wires are, you know, right here, and you can barely see them. You see the wires just going up, and everything looks clean, looks nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the RAM back in and the graphics card, and I'll go ahead and conclude my video. Now that everything's installed, you want to go ahead and power up your PC and make sure that everything turns on with no problem. And after you turn it on, you know, go on your desktop, any software that you have for temperature, you know, check on it. It's a good idea just to check on it at least the first 24 hours, just to make sure nothing unusual is going on. Mainly your CPU temperature is what you want to be checking. Right now mine's at 30 degrees Celsius, and over here showing my fan speeds. Now the reason these are yellow and red is because the threshold or yeah, the minimum is 600 RPM, and so it'll throw a warning whenever it goes below that. So that's why they're, you know, yellow and red right now, but it's really nothing to worry about. I don't think I can go below that threshold, so that's why it's showing red and yellow. But like I said, it's nothing to worry about. You just check on your CPU temperatures, and if those are good, well, there's nothing to worry about. It's cool, so there's no need. The software itself tells the fans that it doesn't have to be spinning at full speed, and will actually lower the speeds of the fans. So that's why you see those pretty low. As a matter of fact, these two front 140 millimeter fans up front, they actually end up they'll stop spinning from time to time, because they don't always have to be on. You know, they'll stop, and then whenever the CPU temperatures start going up, they'll start ramping up. And so yeah, I mean, that's why I love this motherboard, because I don't have to buy any extra external controllers, you know, and add more clutter to my case. And you know, I mean, I love this motherboard. I love this build. This is my personal best, at least I think, out of 3 that I've built for myself since 2009. I've had three builds, and this is by far my favorite. You know, small form factor. You know, everything that I need is inside. I don't feel like things are way too cluttered. It's just you know, perfect. And you know, the wire management, I managed to do a pretty decent job, if I don't say so myself. And you know, I'm pretty happy. So now let's move on to what I did not install. The Corsair, as all you know, comes with you know, their Corsair link or whatever. It's the software to pretty much change the color of that thing in there, and pretty much software to sorry, I was opening this. Software to manage the speeds of your fans up here. I kind of thought that was a waste for me as far as no, I'm sorry, not a waste. I didn't need it because my motherboard already did all that, and I mean it's not like it's not like I can fit, you know, 12 fans in this case or anything. So the amount of fan headers that I have on my motherboard is sufficient. So I just connected them directly into the motherboard rather than having these wires connect to the top of this water block, and you know, adding more wires to it. Believe it or not, but if you use every single wire does this thing have that you can put on this thing, you'll have 1, 2, 3. You'll have 4 wires coming out of this water block. And I did that with my previous build, the half-X, and I really did not like all the wires running through the motherboard. It just didn't look pleasing to the eye. Well, at least to me it didn't. So I decided just to not install those. And let me go ahead and just show you. It comes with this USB thing that connects to the side. Oops, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But anyways, it connects to the side of the water block, and then this other end you can route it down to one of those, to one of the USB headers down here. This focus on this camera sucks, but you get the point. You'll connect it down there, and that will allow you to pretty much manage your fan speeds and the color that you want for the water block. And you know, I do have personal experience with the Corsair link, and at the time it just wasn't good. I mean, I don't know if they got any better. I don't know if it got better or not, but I really didn't like it. It was at one time it changed the color of my water block by itself without me telling it to change it. It just changed it. Sometimes I would want to manually change it and it wouldn't change it. I don't know. I just did not like it, and decided not to use it. And for me right now, it's kind of worth it. You know, I don't really want to use it, and it actually makes this whole setup, this whole installation a lot cleaner. All you have is that one the power cable coming out from the water block. But you know, if you do a good job on wiring, wiring it through, and you could barely see it. I mean, hell, I mean, it's you could barely see it. I mean, if you got the cover on, you won't be able to see it, and it's almost like it's not there. But yeah, man, this last portion of it, I've talked too much. So I mean, I think that's pretty much it. You know, just check on those temperatures, make sure everything went good with the installation, and you should be good. All right, guys, thanks. See you next time.